Okay, we are at Thomas Square. We've been waiting for a seizure raid by DFM, Department of Facilities Maintenance, and Honolulu Police Department. As you can see, the red tents have been swapped out for blue tents, so there's nothing really to seize. The interesting thing is that, and I want to catch a glimpse of the new signage we have. But the interesting thing is, yesterday the Ninth Circuit Court in California ruled LA's version of Bill 54 to be unconstitutional. And we have on this sign here some of the key wording, and we hope that will be heeded here. And it says from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals decision of yesterday, it says the destruction of property by state officials poses as much of a threat, if not more, to people's right to be secure in their effects as does the physical taking of them. And that's, of course, referring to the Fourth Amendment, the guarantees against search and seizure. The other signage here that just went up is from the oath that military people take, that I solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the U.S. against all enemies, both foreign and domestic, which means that, military should defend the civilian population against police when they're acting out. Some new signage here, some nice stuff. This stuff keeps getting taken, so I want to see it. I don't know if you can see it. It's a dark sign. People over profits is common sense. Now, how do we know that city crews are coming? Well, we see the backhoe, and in fact, the backhoe is over on Victoria Street, so I might walk over there. One of the leaders of the raids usually is Trish Morikawa.
Have you talked about the court case yet?
I have. I pointed it out, and I actually read some of it off our sign. Any comments you want to?
Go up to our Facebook page. There's a lot of choice quotes, stuff like the government cannot act like thieves in the night.
That's right. There is a good synopsis, and that's on Facebook /Occupy Honolulu. Right. Okay. Good.
Just wanted to make sure you were talking about it.
I'm done.
That's what we're gonna fight. That's.
If Trish Morikawa from the Office of Dehousing is here, I want to talk to her because she is an attorney by training, and you'd think that after it was struck down in LA, that the even worse ordinance that we have here, which separates people from their attended property, would be, they might not come, but I was wrong. So
the thing is, the ruling is even if it is unattended, that they still cannot seize it.
Yeah,
it's still unconstitutional.
It's still unconstitutional.
Even if they are separating us from our property.
Yeah, it's worse.
It's still illegal.
Absolutely.
It's already unconstitutional on the state level because of the law of the splinter paddle. Now it's on a federal level. I don't know how more unconstitutional you can get, but we're going to battle it out. Tomorrow should be an interesting day. I'm curious to see if they're going to try to seize.
Interesting. I'm hoping Trish is here. I'd like to talk to her. Now, I was just telling the people, we know they're coming because we see the backhoe.
Yep.
And I want to show the tents here because yesterday they were red.
Yep.
And were
those
tagged.
have all been removed out of camp.
Those are not
along
in camp.
With much property. Lots and lots and lots of stuff.
So
I did a whole trip to the storage unit yesterday.
Technically, there's nothing really they can seize. They may tag. Maybe they will just tag, but it looks like with the backhoe they're planning something. Let's go take a walk to the backhoe. Now on this corner here, I don't want to show too much because it is what we call South Occupy. It's a unpolitically affiliated encampment who have suffered much more than the deOccupy Honolulu encampment because, not knowing the law, not being unwilling to speak out against people with weapons and that sort of thing. So they're probably waiting for the management team to show up. Here's the backhoe. Maybe I will walk across the street here. See what's going on. This is the corner of Beretania, and running straight up and down here is Victoria Street. Just to orient you guys, Thomas Square. This is the South Occupy area, the unpolitically affiliated homeless encampment. Very organized bunch. And we're looking down the street. If you can see it, the backhoe that will presumably be used to clear the area. That backhoe's been here a bunch of times. This raid is number 40 by my accounting. 40th visit by armed people. Armed policemen and city Department of Facilities Maintenance crews. Thank you. Oh. This is our old friend, the backhoe. We're waiting for the management team, which is usually Wesley Chun, PhD. He's Honolulu's chief engineer, is what it says on his LinkedIn page. He leads the raids. Why is director of facilities maintenance, a PhD in civil engineering, running the raids? Well, it's because it's a cabinet position under Mayor Carlisle, and in order to have a $112,000 a year job, that's what you got to do. You have to steal from the homeless. You have to violate the Constitution of the United States. I'm on the corner. We're looking up here through Thomas Square. We're on the Victoria Street side. We're waiting for city crews to come in, I think, while we're waiting for them. And we know the management team is going to be here soon because the backhoe is here. So I really want to, they usually park, they do a couple of, after 40 raids, they establish a pattern. Management team very often parks here on Victoria Street. I don't see police. Sometimes if they're just going to tag, they come in on the Beretania Street side, block traffic, and come and take stuff or seize stuff or tag. Now, if you're just joining us, the tagging, what I'm talking about when I say tag is that Bill 54 requires them to tag property first and then come back and take it 24 hours later. They don't do that. I mean, they tag stuff and they seize whatever they want. They destroy property. They can decide what kind of property to destroy. They just declare it they declare it as trash. If it has less than $1,000 value. All seized stuff that actually doesn't get destroyed is supposed to be stored and be reclaimable. Of course, you need credit card receipts to reclaim property, and because of that, in fact, not much stuff has been recovered, even stuff that has credit card receipts. I have credit card receipts for now a dozen tents, and made a claim for some of them, and received some tents, including some that were beat up stuff that had no relationship to the ones that were stolen. Okay, so what we are doing here is waiting for the management team, probably Wesley Chan, PhD, Honolulu's chief engineer, and Trish Morikawa, the coordinator of the mayor's office of dehousing. It's actually the office of housing, but I call it the office of dehousing because it has dehoused more people than it has housed. She's an attorney, was formerly a deputy prosecutor under Mayor Carlisle when he was the chief prosecutor for Honolulu. It's a non-party position, non-party affiliated position. If there was a Nazi party, well, you know, just my opinion, you know what I'm saying? He lost the primaries. He got 25% of the votes, so he is on his way out. While I'm here, let me go over some history. Nice. Say again? Yeah, we passed it. So I figure he's waiting for the management team to show up.
Yeah.
So they're somewhere else now causing trouble. This is interesting. What do you think while you're here? I'm live on the internet. And while we have the Anna Rice Cook estate in the background, what do you think of the decision by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals?
I think it's about time. I think this is something that has been shot down as unconstitutional numerous times. This is not the first ruling of such a case. So to me, I'm blown away that it took this long. The thing that really bothers me, though, is I guess that it's an entirely different process to get it stricken off the books. Like, it's even unconstitutional, but it's still part of the law until we fight it. And that, to me, is bogus. It should be like unconstitutional, boom, it should be abolished. I don't get the train of thought of how we came up with that.
Yeah.
So, you know, but yeah, I think it's about time. You know, I think it's an obvious thing. You can't put homeless in a crisis and expect them to come back and help. Or it's basically like forcing them to be subservient to the state. You know, they need the state to survive at that point. You know, I even read something on there where they give the homeless a storage.
Yeah, I saw that. That's in LA.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. Now you don't have a tent though for the night.
Yeah.
What do? You know,
Yeah.
like you got a place to put your stuff, but you
Yeah.
have, you know, like you can't sleep in storage.
It seemed like the social services in LA, or at least the organizations, are actually a little bit better than the ones we have here, which is kind of odd. I always think of LA as being kind of a cruel, cold place. But
Yeah, a little bit. You know, like this is more. I mean, hell, we have the tourist money coming in. Not like we ever see anything. Only Waikiki sees that, but you know, yeah. I am surprised that it's like this here, but at the same time, kind of not, because they tend to not care about anybody who doesn't have money.
Right.
They sweep them away.
Yeah, no, and speaking of money, I was pointing out that across the street here, that's a former residence of Anna Rice Cook, who was one of the sugar land barons that profited off the theft of Hawaiian land. And you get to have a house like that.
Prime real estate.
Prime real estate. If you steal, and then if not, you can stay on this side and be harassed by police. And I don't know if people can see it, but there's a line of blue tents where there was red tents yesterday. Now tell me why that is, why we had red tents yesterday and you got blue tents out now today.
Well, after 40 raids or so, we have learned that we can outsmart the city because legislation doesn't work necessarily. Basically, they come and tag the red tents. We, pack those down and whatnot, and we have, blue tents out in storage or some houses and, various places, depending on who trusts who with what. And they got all brought down here. And then we ship off the red tents, and then here are the blue ones.
So theoretically, they can't take these tents.
Yes, exactly.
Although they have in the past.
Yes, they have. But that's after a couple of the swap outs, so they use the evidence that it hasn't been removed, and at that point it's taken. Whether they got evidence or not, we have to jump through the hoops to get it back. Damage is already done.
Right. It is impressive. I know people notice the real uniform blue tents or red tents. It's a good trademark. It kind of shows organization, persistence,
Something's going on. There's always
something's
action.
going on. And there's a nice new sign area, posters and signs out in the corner. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. And I think it hits on pretty well because right after yesterday's ruling with the 9th District Court, or the Circuit Court, it's all about how it's unconstitutional. We got a quote from the actual, I think the one judge actually said it in there.
Right.
We got a message to, it says military, but I hope the police also follow that because it's about their oath. And they took that oath to protect us and our freedoms. They're protecting us. And, they took an oath to say, I'm going to defend this country against foreign and domestic.
That's right.
So
we should have members of the military protecting us against the police.
Yeah, exactly. Bring our troops home, man.
Yeah.
We need them to protect ourselves from the government.
Bring them back.
Yeah.
Bring them to the corner. They know how to camp out. Have them protect us.
Yeah, they're the rugged type. We need them here. Let's make this place good.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jake. And you're always down here, so you're like you're an encamper, an occupier, a deoccupier.
Deoccupier. Hell yeah.
All right. Thanks
Awesome.
much.
Thanks, Doug.
Okay. We're waiting, if you just joined us, we're waiting for the management team to come and raid this encampment here. We'll walk down and take a look at the blue tent. If you drive down Beretania to Ward, you'll probably see either blue tents or red tents. Very uniform. That's to show that we are in compliance with Ordinance 11-029, or what Bill 54 is currently called. None of this stuff here is subject to seizure. Of course, that hasn't stopped the authorities, the police and the Department of Facilities Maintenance and the Office of Dehousing. But we'll see. The decision in the 9th Circuit Court was on LA's version of Bill 54. And here's the quote from it. The destruction of property by state officials poses as much of a threat, if not more, to people's right to be secure in their effects, as does the physical taking of them. So, some new stuff here. Nice sign here. There's some nice signage that comes and goes. If the management team doesn't show up soon, I'm gonna cut away to save bandwidth and battery, and then cut that back in. I want to show you Thomas Square is a beautiful park named after a British admiral, I believe, Richard Dalton Thomas, I believe. Don't quote me on the first names. Who in 1843, July 31st, after a misadventure by a British subject, returned sovereignty to the Hawaiian people right here, July 31st, 1843. And this area was, to commemorate it, was named after him. This is exactly where the Hawaiian flag, I think if you see the fountain in the center, the British flag was taken down, the Union Jack, and the Hawaiian flag put back up by Admiral Thomas. And then they walked from here, I think, to Kauaiahau Church and to the Iolani Palace, which is down that ways, that you could see if buildings were glass or not there. And then there's a huge party up in Nuuanu, I think that lasted for days. La Ho'iho'i'ea, return of sovereignty. And that was celebrated every year until the overthrow in 1893, January 17th, when the foreign land and sugar barons that had houses like this, in fact, one of the descendants is still on the board of trustees for that organization of the place we're looking at across the street, decided to overthrow by force the Hawaiian government and replace it with their own, with the help of a U.S. gunship. And then from then, in a few years later, 1903, I think, somebody can correct me, the Hawaii was annexed illegally. There was never any treaty. Okay. We got some viewers. What we're doing, if you just joined us, thanks for joining us. This is the recreational area, the viewing area for the raid. I'm at the shady viewing area for the raid. We're waiting for the management team of the raid to show up. We know they're coming because there is a backhoe waiting. If they don't come soon, I'm going to break away, and then I come back when they come because I want to save battery power and bandwidth and that kind of thing. I'm monitoring the social stream, so if you want to say stuff, just go ahead. One of the things I wanted to do if the management team shows up is one of them is Trish Morikawa. She's the coordinator of the Office of De-Housing, but a former prosecutor. So she's actually an attorney, graduate of Richardson School of Law. That's our own law school here. 1995 grad. So I would like to ask her opinion on. I'm sure she's read the decision, and I'm sure she understands that it makes Bill 54 and the seizure of property here illegal. I'm gonna walk down the street. Thanks for staying with me, and we're waiting for the management team. I'm thinking it's going to be a real quick raid. Sometimes they just come right down here and then park, jump out and tag stuff, and then run away. There really isn't anything here to seize, so I'm a little bit upset that the backhoe showed up, and we'll walk down there to show you the backhoe. This is Veritania Street. Here's what we call South Occupy. It's the unpolitically affiliated houseless encampment that have formed a real kinship with both North and South, Occupy. So I think they like it because we speak out against these things. So I noticed the backhoe's still here, the guy's still in it, so lights on. So we're just waiting. He was here at 15 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago. So. Okay, there's some trucks. There's also some trucks down here where there wasn't before. So we know the management team is on its way. Let me get to show you the kind of heavy equipment that they use. Although sometimes it's not as heavy as they used to. There's a truck right across on the other side of this. There we go. You see the crane? Here's one of the trucks that'll be used. That's very often driven into the park. And here is, and this is very often either driven into the across the street, which is the National Crane truck. You can see, and behind that, dump truck. This towing truck isn't part of the, but you can see the city logos on this dump truck. This is for the destruction of property. The stuff that goes in here doesn't get stored, it gets destroyed. So I don't see stuff in it. They usually come here from somewhere else. I got a horn beep showing that it's probably a signal that some stuff's coming up. Here are this truck. You can see the crane on it. There are a bunch of bins. Those bins are to put previously tagged stuff that they want to impound. Technically, stuff that goes in there is stored for 30 days, subject to reclamation by its owners, but in reality, almost none of that is reclaimed, because in order to reclaim your stuff, you need credit card receipts. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. And of course, very few people have credit card receipts for, if you think, and I'm assuming you're not a houseless person, think about your suitcase and your belongings. So you go on a vacation, you pack your suitcase, you got clothes, toiletries, medications, and that sort of thing. And it's confiscated, and you need credit card receipts to get them back. Will you be able to do that, you, non-houseless person? Probably not. And I think there are a few people out there that probably could, who do things like scan their receipts and then mount them on the cloud. I mean, that's what I do. But I know a lot of people don't do that. Certainly not houseless people. So the stuff that's seized, that's going into that dump truck and into those bins on the crane truck, will be gone. We'll take everything needed for the acts of living, and I should warn them that I'm waiting for the management team. They'll probably come up here. I see their dump trucks and stuff. They got their dump trucks and stuff parked up.
I don't care. I'm going to go take a bath through all this mess and get the hell out of here.
That's a good plan, I'm glad. You don't want to stand around.
I'm not here to cause trouble. Think I'm bad, because I'm not.
Yeah, no, I'm here to cause trouble.
That's all right.
Yeah.
As long as you know what you're doing, you're ready for the consequences.
I am, definitely. You can see them cleaning up here. Actually, a very well organized crew here. I don't want to show them because they might want to retain their privacy.
The lady wants to say something to you. I don't know.
I'm going to go report back that the raid is imminent. So I'm not going to go off the air. I'm going to keep it running here. I'm estimating imminent arrival of the management team because the heavy equipment is here. We've seen the backhoe, dump truck, truck with the cranes, the bins, and another smaller truck that was last seen here a few weeks ago, less than a couple of weeks ago. It took the sign. I'm going to pull this back. There we go. There's a group here in the shade. Many of these people veterans of most of the... This will be raid number 40 by my accounting. It's cool here, so I'm going to sit here. Across the street is the Honolulu Museum of Art. They have the dump truck, and they have two trucks and the bin. That's their backhoe. There's a dump. They have the big dump truck. They have the crane truck, and they have another truck parked there. So they're waiting for the management team to show up.
Showdown at the OK Corral.
This is really a beautiful park. It's a little bit parched. The sprinkler system doesn't work anymore because they keep driving trucks through it to raid the area. So, you know, this side is parched, and the mayor, who's in charge of the city in these raids, is soon to be the former mayor. He is being evicted from Honolulu Hale because the people hated his guts, you know, to vote him out of office. I've asked the two mayoral candidates what they will do to help the homeless rather than to continue to harass and criminalize them and subject themselves to expensive litigation now that we know that Bill 54 is unconstitutional. And I think that's an issue to press. There's a long stretch between the primaries, August 11th, and the general election in November. A lot of time to talk the issues. And in fact, while we're waiting, I can show you this area. We, on Sundays, we have a Food Not Bombs jam session. Food and music free. I mean, you can bring food if you want. Right here, we build a canopy or two. A lot of people, a lot of music. Generally, you know, Food Not Bombs is supposed to be vegetarian. Last Food Not Bombs, some fried chicken showed up. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not a vegetarian, but, you know, and the chicken went fast. You know, it was a hot seller. So there's room for some ideological expression, you know. We are half a block from Straub Hospital, maybe a block to the state capitol, and maybe another half a block to the Honolulu Hale City Hall. It's very central. Thousands of cars pass by and they've seen us. I saw a thing on Facebook, somebody was saying, you know, why are all our tents so uniform? Okay, where are they? I can't see. I don't have my glasses on. Are they on this side? Okay, management team is here. So let's go see if we can ask Trish a question. Now, in order to see the screen, I'm kind of walking around without glasses, which means I can't make out people's faces, and my quality of vision is probably about the same as yours, you know, watching through this mobile cam. So let me see. We see the heavy equipment hasn't there we go. We see equipment moving into the park. We have city trucks. You can tweet this out if you can. This would be great if people are watching. Okay, some trucks are entering now. Into the park. Now we see the big heavy truck moving up. We can see the police car blocking traffic. Sure that the management team gets here. Here they go. And here's the other truck. There is no property here, or very little property here that they can take. None of the tents. They're over at the free speech corner. I hope somebody's getting that. I'm going to walk over here. Here's the backhoe. Ready to take some stuff. You can see how the police back off, block out traffic.
Hey, how's it going?
And we'll go take a look at. You're not wearing your Aloha shirt. This is Wesley Chan, PhD, Honolulu's chief engineer. Wesley, have you read the decision by the circuit court that found the law unconstitutional?
The Ninth Circuit Court has said what you're doing is illegal. Yes, yes, yes. You're all going to court.
You have an opinion on the...
red line is started. You got to go under.
Thank you.
I want to find... Where's Trish? I want to ask her a legal question. She's there.
Under the U.S. Constitution, you are breaking the law, Twitter.
Come on, underneath the red.
I want to ask...
You broke the law,
ask a legal question.
Sir.
Trish, I'll go. Trish, can I ask you what you think of the Ninth Circuit Court decision?
Hey, cowboy, underneath the red, let's go.
You can see how they put themselves in a crime zone. This is to keep us from I'm going to bring my other camera out so that I can I can't get any closer because we're taped off. We're subject to arrest. They are taking apart the sign that was here that I showed you. That was here just painted this morning. I think that's interesting. The smaller signs they're taking and putting away, not going to allow it. They're taking the sign saying that what they're doing is unconstitutional. Have Sugar on microphone on bullhorn here.
I want you to catch me good. Stay outside the red line and do not walk on the roadway.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Okay, I'm about to get
That's
loud again.
Sergeant Santos, whose specialty is in suppressing free speech. He's the one assigned to any protest.
According to the U.S. 9th District Court of Appeals, what you are doing right now is unconstitutional.
Certainly
It's
unconstitutional.
also unconstitutional within the state constitution. I don't know how unconstitutional it has to get before you stand up and actually do the oath in which you did when you talked, when you went
That
to
is
office,
also
when
Kenneth
you went to
Shimizu,
show
who is
the
the Deputy Director of the Department of Facilities Maintenance. So there are three mayor's cabinet people here, along with
the property of the homeless is entitled to Fourth Amendment protection. Personal possession, perhaps presenting everything they own, must be considered property.
That's right.
The destruction of property by state officials poses as much threat, if not more, to people's rights to be secure in their effects, as does physical taking of them. Let us be clear about the property interest at stake in this appeal. The district court does not recognize, and we do not now address, the existence of constitutionally protected property rights to be protected.
Okay, they've taken this stuff, putting it there, probably to go in a garbage truck. Here's a garbage truck right here at the ready.
Personal possession, perhaps representing everything they own, must be considered property. The government may not take property like a
This
thief
is interesting.
in the
This
night.
tape, as you can see, is to keep us from looking too closely. Here's a truck I think they're going to use or have used. As you can see, I'm going to go run over to the other side. They're probably harassing the, they left this sign, very good, harassing the people on the other side. They cut it off so that people from one side can't document on the other side. It's a good tactic, except we have multiple documenters. Probably live streaming at the moment is the Pineapple Glitch on U Street. That would be Nova's this whole area is taped off so that you can't easily get from one end to the other. You can't really document what they're doing. So I'm in the park. We'll get over to the other side now. Here's this end. They really block this whole area off, as you can see.
You guys are not above the law. A city ordinance does not trump the Constitution.
That's it. Exactly correct.
It was deemed unconstitutional yesterday.
And the police will not enforce property rights. It's okay. I'm okay. I'm on your you know, what we're doing is that the difference is my stream goes into the internet and everybody can see it. Yours you keep for your own purposes. You see, yours is private property, mine is public property. That's the difference. You can follow HDoug on Twitter. And actually, I like those contours. It's a nice contour.
You guys don't feel like you're doing the right thing. You're just doing your job.
What is the point of this?
We ain't going nowhere.
When you have a family to support,
Right there, Trish Morikawa, center screen. She is an attorney by trade, so I'm sure she's read the ordinance, because like people have really been waiting for the ordinance. We are outside, as you can see, the taped off area, danger tape, do not enter. They put themselves inside a crime zone. Here's our old friend the backhoe being brought in. Now the law ordinance also says they have to report found shopping carts to the Retail Merchants Association. So because the Retail Merchants Association made a big deal about how valuable carts were being stolen by bad houseless people. This is our old friend the backhoe. Good shot here behind the danger tape. Set, in fact, to scoop up the offending shopping cart. I'm going to back up a little, I think. This is just really an excellent shot, you know. Backhoe against shopping cart. You can see them taking the signs and throwing it in a garbage truck. I'm going to see if I can get a picture of that. There's so much stuff. Here's Wesley Chun, PhD in engineering, $112,000 a year. Here's the garbage truck where you can see some signs going into. This, I would call this destruction of property. What about you? We can see chairs going in, signs, there's a carpet, we can see a lot of signs, all with expressive content, palette. There's Wes Chun actually handling personal property from South Occupy. He'll probably be out because when the mayor goes out, I'm wondering if anyone's monitoring his LinkedIn. Well, I don't feel good about this kid's bicycle. I'm going to take a picture for our ID purposes. You can see signs being taken. These are signs that were used at the Bishop Estate. Those signs would be on their way to be trashed. So we'll go up and we'll follow west, I think is the West needs help taking freedom of speech. See him taking the actual signs off. This signboard went up this afternoon, and this is the one here on the right of the screen, done by one of the deoccupiers a long time ago. Hey Jamie, look, your sign's still here, baby. Oh, sorry for calling you baby. That might be demeaning. They've failed 40 times, and this will be the 40th failure. And that is Ken Shimizu. He's Deputy Director of Department of Facilities Maintenance. Don't know his salary. It must be around 100,000. His boss makes 112,000. Trish Morikawa makes 80,000, and that's through the civil beat. You can see Stanigawas have been spared again. So we have about $300,000 a year in just in management team wages represented here. That's Westchun. He makes $112,000. He has a PhD in civil engineering. We can see, let me catch some stuff here, because this is going to go into the dump truck. They removed the tape, so you can see stuff being, I want to say, out of the way. You can see all kinds of stuff popping out the top of that dump truck. It's filled to capacity with stuff. And you can see them taking the sign here. You can see the carts and stuff at the top.
A little bit. I don't want you
Sure.
to get hurt. Yeah, just for your safety.
Sure,
Thank you.
I understand. But I want to help. I want to get close enough to document
but
it
getting
clearly.
too close and something falling on you is
I
not
like
very
those.
safe.
I like those contour cameras. I want to get one myself because they're hands free. Talking about those contour cameras. You can see the splintered paddle on the emblem of the Honolulu Police Department, with the law of the splintered paddle that protects the humble from abuse of power, supposedly. But, you know, an insignia is an insignia. It often changes meaning. The swastika originally was a Buddhist and Hindu symbol. Here we go. This we would call destruction of property. Recently ruled unconstitutional by the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals on the West Coast. We're in the same circuit, so this is awaiting some kind of challenge. Violations of the 4th Amendment, securities for protection of security of personal effects of property, and against search and seizure. The 14th Amendment guarantee, again, life, liberty, and property. First Amendment, that's a biggie. First Amendment, freedom of speech. There are a bunch of signs in that truck. And while we're here, let's get a good look at the crane here. We're live at Occupy World News Now. That's great. If you just joined us, we are at the longest encampment in the Occupy movement worldwide. 306 continuous days on a raid. Here's a classic shot. We've seen this backhoe a lot. This is the 40th raid here at Thomas Square, which is named after Admiral Thomas. I'll give you a short synopsis of that later. As you can see, they're not taking the tents. because they were swapped out and not subject to the ordinance as was written in our ordinance 11-029, which requires items to be tagged and then stay on public property for 24 hours. But they can do whatever they want to do. And what they've done before is take stuff. As you can see, they took a lot of signs which you'd think would be protected under the First Amendment. They tape off the area in crime tape so it's difficult to get a look at what they're doing. I'd like to get one of those AR parrots. I could fly in some cameras. This area is what we call, sometimes called South Occupy. This is an actual homeless encampment here. And of course they tape it off so that you can't easily get there. Grade is
How do you sleep at night? What do you tell your children you do for a living?
what do you tell the kid? What do you tell people at church if you go to church?
Medication are you stealing right now?
I'm gonna try and walk around, get to the other corner. This is kind of where I get my exercise, man. So I can't just cut across. I gotta walk across the area. Hey, how's it going? This plant has been here. Is this the plant?
Yeah.
This plant has germinated here and grown here and survived 40 raids. You know, this is a pepper plant. Okay. I'm walking toward what I call South Occupy. You can see how they cut off the area with tape so that it's hard to document what it is they're doing. But we have multiple live streamers. If you're on Ustream, you can go to the Pineapple Glitch. That's Nova Smith's Ustream. He's probably Ustreaming. You can see here, the garbage truck seizing property from homeless people. And there's Wesley Chun himself personally not only directing the operation but seizing property. We're at Thomas Square, Honolulu, Hawaii, corner of Ward and Baratani. Actually, we're now at the Ward and Victoria. This is, I don't see no tape. Why don't?
Cordoned off area.
Well, I think
you have to get out.
It's not cordoned off.
You have to get out.
A policeman can tell me that. It's not. It's not cordoned off.
You have to get out.
The area is not cordoned off.
Well, I'm gonna make
I'll
it
stay.
I'm gonna make it going off. Go out there. And
When it's cordoned off, I'll stay outside.
No, I'm telling you to go out over there. Go.
I wanna. My duty is to
Let's go.
document what's going on here.
Okay, you can
It's
document it out
really
there.
important
Go ahead.
that this be documented.
Okay, go ahead. You can
Okay?
document it out there. I'm telling you
We
right now,
can
they're
see
working
it.
and you're in the way. Get out of the way.
I'll stay out of the way. You can see the property that's in here. There you can see stuff being crushed. We're at the actual homeless end of the park, what we call South Occupy. You can see the kinds of things that are going in. In this case, cleaning stuff. Now they were just sweeping up the area minutes before they came. This has been ruled to be unconstitutional yesterday. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals on the West Coast. We're on the same circuit. They have a bill just like Bill 44. They take material that's unattended, but as you can see here, not only is unattended property being taken, but attended property is being taken. Now, as I always ask, who do you call when it's the police stealing your stuff? And the police are here helping in the theft, and we've asked many times to have either the perpetrators arrested or our property returned, and of course that doesn't happen. It's hard to keep track of both sides. I'm hoping Nova is streaming from the other end. This is spread out over about a block at the park. You can see stuff being thrown away. See the splintered paddle emblem. Splintered paddle, the Kanawai Mamalahoi's law, the first law by the first king of Hawaii, declared to protect the humble from abuse of power. It's in the Constitution. It was incorporated into the Constitution in 1978 at the Constitutional Convention. We're looking at Deputy Director of Department of Facilities Maintenance, Kenneth Shimizu, in the orange. All these people have engineering backgrounds. The one with the legal background is the coordinator of the Office of Dehousing, Trish Morikawa, and you can see her center screen. I'm taking pictures with my still camera if I seem a little bit preoccupied here. We have 4 police on this end, about 4 police on the other end, and another few police, probably 10 police in all, including in a blue shirt today, in a blue polo, Larry Santos, who's a public affairs officer, he handles a lot of the protests and that sort of thing. He can be seen in many of my videos and photographs because I protest a lot. He said the anti-GMO protest, protecting the GMO corporations. He's here making sure, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know where the police went. I'm a little bit concerned. What I'm doing here is actually documenting what's going on. For the record, we're live streaming on the internet at the corner of Victoria and Beretania. Here's some resistance, vocal resistance happening on the other side of the crime tape. That is. We're looking toward the end there. That corner is the deOccupy Honolulu, actually in solidarity with Occupy Wall Street. Called deOccupy because Hawaii is under occupation by an illegitimate military force. This was a large and recognized independent sovereign nation. Had treaties. Okay. I can come in now because they're taking the crime tape down. So.
Hey, Trish! You're a lawyer!
Trish, any comment on the Ninth Circuit?
And the 7-Eleven on Kapiolani? The 7-Eleven. Okay. Okay, so we'll see you guys there.
Trish, can I get a legal opinion on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals decision? I know you're an attorney, so you have any comment on that at all?
No, sorry.
Would Corp Counsel? You must have read. You did read the decision, though, right? Say again.
About taking signs. You took signs today. I've seen you physically make people put signs back, but today you took signs. I don't know why.
Well, the question, I guess, has to be put to Corp Counsel.
I mean, I've seen you make
who aren't
people
here.
The ones with writing is what you said. Yet you took
We can get a good look here at
All
the.
right, change with you, Trish, don't they?
Did somebody tell you you have to take the signs?
They did take signs today. That's Mike Pada in the electric vehicle here. One of deOccupy Honolulu's stalwart participants. So I'd like to call on the community again to come by and make signs. I think basically what they took are signs. Good to get this close. They usually don't allow us this close to the stuff, but it's pretty good to take a look at the stuff. They're all leaving now. Dump truck behind this truck with the bins. Here's what's called a tag on a tent that was just brought out. This says that if it's still here in 24 hours, they're going to take it to the Division of Road Maintenance and impound it on the tent. And if you can read it, when freedom is outlawed, only outlaws will be free. Here's the management team with their windows up. The management team is Wesley Cha and Trish Morikawa. Ken Shimizu, and I'm speculating on the name of the driver. I won't name him, but that's the names of the other guys. Now the cabinet people will most likely be outgoing with the mayor who got voted out. So this should be part of their curriculum vitae.
Lights to flow through the light like you guys usually do.
Here is this one isn't. I think that's Sergeant Santos.
United States of America, why not flow
There they go.
law too?
Why to the management team? Splendid job. Raid number 40. Now they're going to Kapiolani. They're on their way to Kapiolani if there's a McDonald's or something there. Then you're being warned. There's the whole, this is a great corner, isn't it? And that's it. Okay, that concludes raid number 40 on deOccupy Honolulu, the longest continuous encampment in the worldwide Occupy movement. On our 306th day, it was started November 5th, hasn't missed a single night here. Now, if you're wondering why all the tents are squished along the sidewalk, that is because under legal test it is protected under the Kanawai Mamalahoi, the law of the splintered paddle. Before I go, I'm going to give the usual little background information that we are at Thomas Square, named after, I believe it's Richard Dalton Thomas, Admiral, British Admiral, who, after a misadventure by a British subject who tried to take over Hawaii with a gunship, Richard Dalton Thomas came and said nope, and returned sovereignty to the Hawaiian people. On July 31st, 1843, right, if you can see a fountain there, that's where the flagpole was. Took down the British flag, put up the Hawaiian flag, walked over to Kauaiahau Church. I did. And we'll see, was somebody documenting on this side? No one else, huh?
Nope. Jake's phone was just about dead. Mine doesn't seem to be able to access the internet right now for some reason. I think the system's down, and so it's running really slow. And then
okay, we might be able to
Jake,
fix that.
And Andy and Nova went to go pick up somebody from the hospital.
Oh. Okay.
So, just sick, high fever kind of.
Oh, okay.
But they needed to take off to go do that.
Well, I'm going to see what we got. I'm going to download it. And any reaction? This was raid number 40 as far as my counting goes.
Here's the thing. It's unconstitutional. They better come with their big trucks tomorrow. Hey, anybody watching, tune in. It's going to be very exciting.
So it should be about 24 hours from now.
Approximately.
Yeah, okay. Now what they did is they took signs and stuff. They took protect not only property, but that are protected under 4th and 14th Amendment, but also First Amendment that protected free speech.
But they're not interested in the Constitution. There was a court ruling
be.
yesterday makes all of this unconstitutional. They don't care. They don't care until something gets reversed. They don't care until somebody puts their life down in the way and makes a freaking stand.
Yeah.
And guess what? We are going to win this battle. We refuse to allow the homeless population to be tormented and tortured by these domestic terrorists, because that is what this is.
I got a lot of footage of them on this corner throwing away, just destroying property before their eyes, just by crushing it in that. It's awful.
Yeah, and the whole concept of they're doing this so they can put the houseless into a state of crisis so they come get help. There's no logic in that. You spend all this money on this big equipment, paying all these people. Job creation is good, but you're paying all these people in order to destroy people's lives, their belongings. The only things they have, it's devastating. And then they expect them to be like, oh yeah, I need help. You who destroys my life, you must be the person I go to in order to get any assistance. It's a wrong concept. Head of housing should be going and working on outreaching to these people in order to help make them aware of services and help get them to those services.
Well, you know, her background is as a prosecutor, Trish Morikawa. So.
I really want to know if she's currently a lawyer. I want to know if she currently holds...
I believe she's currently licensed. I think we can check the HSBA site, Hawaii State Bar Association site.
Can you actually do that for me and let me know?
I will. I believe that's part of her dollar value to the...
you know, there's going to be an interesting process that goes down. This is going to unfold.
Okay,
we have the Constitution on our side, and we're going to fight it. We're going to battle it. We're not going to let them win. We're not stopping. They're not making us go away. They can do anything they want. They can, you know, I'm from Chicago. They beat the crap out of us there. This is nothing. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, so join us again tomorrow in about 24 hours, and we'll catch part 3, raid number 41, and I'm going to fade out a pleasant view of Thomas Square. Okay, thanks for joining us, and see you tomorrow. Maybe not, but I bet yes. So.